Please welcome Cameron Call. I know you've seen them. A couple of guys wearing white shirts and ties, riding their bikes or walking down your street. Maybe they've knocked on your door. Maybe you've welcomed them in, confronted them, or even avoided them altogether. You probably know who I'm talking about, the Mormon missionaries. Fellow Toastmasters, guests, if you haven't put it together by now, I am a Mormon, and I was once a missionary. Allow me to share with you one of the craziest experiences from my mission in Nashville, Tennessee. A fun fact for you, missionaries have some pretty strict rules that we have to follow. We have to wake up every morning at 6:30. Exercise for 30 minutes a day. Take a shower, read our scriptures, say our prayers, be nice to people, and be home by 9 o'clock at night. Whoa. A couple other things we're told to do is no hugging and kissing girls while we're missionaries. And also follow very strict bike safety laws, which I'll get to in a minute. I love the South. The people, the culture, the scenery, it's beautiful. One thing I don't like, though, is the windy country roads and the narrow shoulders along the sides. They're not very conducive to bike riding or to missionaries for that matter. After I lived in Nashville for nearly a year, I was assigned a brand new missionary. He was from a small southern Utah town. He couldn't even shift the gears on his bike. And so there he'd be pedaling 1,000,000 miles an hour, barely moving at all. It drove me nuts. But I made sure he learned quickly, and within a couple of weeks, he was about as good as my mom on her bike. One night, we were heading to an appointment, and as usual, I was pedaling out farther and farther ahead of him. And I was waiting to turn left on a narrow 2-lane highway as the rush hour traffic zoomed behind me, or zoomed past me. I had my rear light flashing, my front headlights on, and my arms in the air signaling that I was about to make a left turn. It's kind of hard to miss a guy that is 6'5", standing on a bike, wearing a white shirt, waiting to turn left. I looked back over my shoulder and saw that my companion was still about 30 yards behind me, and I yelled, "Elder, get up here so we can turn left together!" And then bam! Everything went black. I was struck from behind by a drunk driver traveling 45 miles an hour. My bike, it was a practically new yellow Trek mountain bike, it bent in half. I was thrown up onto the windshield of the car, shattered the windshield. My helmet split right down the middle from the force of the impact. The car kept driving for about 50 feet before she finally slammed on the brakes. I get launched into the air, several yards down the road, where I crash on the ground, unconscious. My companion, still pedaling to catch up, in second gear. It was a shock. Cars stopped in both directions. People immediately got out, called 911, and within minutes we had multiple witnesses, police, ambulance there at the scene. My companion did the only thing he could think of in his traumatized state. He got on his knees and he called the big guy upstairs. While I was in the ambulance, my condition worsened. So I was transferred via helicopter to the ICU in Vanderbilt Hospital in downtown Nashville. Of course, the one time I get a ride in a helicopter, I'm not even awake for it. While I was in the ICU, doctors ran multiple tests, x-rays, MRIs, CAT scans to check for broken bones, brain damage, and spinal cord injury. Test after test came back negative. I was fine, and these doctors were stunned. "It's a miracle," they said. "This kid should be dead," they said. After being in the ICU, I was released just 3 hours later with a scraped up nose, a scratched neck from little pieces of windshield, a scar on my shoulder, and a sprained left ankle. I walked out of the hospital that night with a boot on my foot and a pair of crutches. And as I got in the car, I was finally able to call my mom. "Hi, Mom. After hearing about the accident, she'd been waiting all night to hear my voice, but I was okay." And guess what the first thing she said to me was? "Cameron, can you still play the piano?" "Yeah, Mom, but I'm going to need a new bike." This experience opened my eyes to a lot of things. First, how incredible first responders are. Second, for me, was the power of prayer. And then, of course, how strong those $30 helmets at Walmart really are. It may never happen to you, but it happened to me. And for that reason, I will always be a stickler for bike safety.